That sounds more realistic.
Have you ever heard kind of like, no, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. It's too scary.
No, I really think you should. That's kind of like, it seems like a thing we would do.
The man trying to sound like a dog is more scary than an actual dog barking. Because
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've blasphemed in front of a dog and had it chastise me before.
Just recently.
Yeah, we all saw that.
It was creepy as hell.
Have you guys ever heard of George Lukens?
Not George Lucas.
It's heard George Lucas.
No.
Lukens?
Wait, did I
Bach,
research
Texas.
the wrong guy?
No, it's supposed to be talking about the guy that created Star Wars.
Yeah, he was haunted by the ghost of...
The Ewoks.
Yeah, hold up.
They're making all that noise.
Let me pull up
And we
Wikipedia.
always remember the Ewoks were going to eat them.
Yeah, they
The
were.
Ewoks were going to freaking eat them.
Spoilers. Dude, I told you that I've only been through 1.5 Star Wars movies. And no. I'm sorry, 2.2, I guess.
Two really good ones of the 9.
The one where he gets frozen in the
Carbonite.
tinfoil. And then,
Carbonite.
and
Planet
then,
Hoth.
Tinfoil.
The one where he pops off on the floating spaceship and where Princess Leia chokes out the slug.
All spaceships float.
The Dune spaceship, when they're in Dune World.
Okay, first that's a totally different story. The Dune is a totally different story. You're talking about the Sarlacc pit.
Okay, can I tell my story?
Does it involve spice?
No. George Lukens was a commoner in England who had a pretty strange trip. The story dates back to the 18th century. On a Saturday in May 1778, the Honorable Anglican Vicar of Temple Church, Reverend Joseph Easterbrook, had his first encounter with George Lukens after a traveler named Sarah Barber told him something was super fucky.
Oh,
and
okay.
So, this is how these two met.
Okay.
All right.
Vicars probably hear some super fucky shit from time to time, right?
Probably.
Like, you're the vicar.
Yeah, especially if there's one in a town of like
somebody's gonna be
200
like, dude,
people.
I gotta see the vicar. Something weird
Got
happened.
some really fucking stuff.
Some fucky shit just went down.
Really fucky stuff.
Where's
I need
the
to
vicar?
discuss.
Some fucky duck.
The vicar's like, well, you know, God loves all of his children, but how fucking we talking? Purely for the sake of comedic transparency, we will now refer to the vicar as Joey.
Joey the Vicar.
Okay.
George Lukens is now going to be Georgie Boy.
Georgie
All right.
Boy.
And Sarah Barber will be thusly referred to as the footnote in history only afforded to the types of women who truly call for challenging about-faced and metaphysical challenges of religion, ideology, ultimately bringing into the new world a vastly different point of view. Traveling lady. It's a
Damn, you
traveling
got
lady.
deep on that one.
Yeah.
This is Joey.
Is it Sarah with an H?
Yeah. With Georgie Boy.
Sarah.
Traveling lady approaches Joey and says he should really check on old Georgie Boy. Quote, he's in a bad way, barking like a dog, as it were, unquote. I made that up. I don't know if that's quoted.
That's probably how it went down.
As it were, sounds like the way they would put that.
Yeah,
So,
I believe it.
you know, he's a common carrier, all of that kind of shit. By the way, do you know what a common carrier is?
Do not.
Like when it comes to a disease? Or
Oh, yeah, that would be, what's it called? Infection by vector, like a mosquito.
Right.
Is it an airline ticket you get?
A common carrier ticket on an airline. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought all of those things too, but
Sure.
literally it's a blue-collared worker back then. So like a
common
smithy,
carrier.
whatever, common carrier.
Like a dude you could yell at if you were a nobleman.
Literally, yeah, Kaz just nailed it. Common.
If you just had a bad day, you could just take
Get
it out
over
on
here.
them. Yeah.
Give me some
All
fucking
right.
meat or whatever
So it's
we
a
drink out
retail
here.
worker.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone you can just take out all your frustrations on.
Hold the jeans.
Are there people that just do that?
Yeah.
There's people that just like, man, I'm just going to go to a retail store and just rip on someone's
I need
ass.
to speak to someone's manager. That's like the whatever.
You get the
1800.
haircut and you go.
Yep. Can I speak to your boss haircut? So, traveling lady say black magic curse Georgie Boy, quote, in which he sang and screamed in various sounds, some of which did not resemble a human voice, and declared doctors could do him no service, unquote. That is an actual quote.
Oh.
But traveling lady say Georgie Boy for nearly 2 decades had been acting off his rocker, a rocker having been invented the Wednesday previous. Joey.
You had fun writing this, didn't you?
Technology
God.
still unproven. A little wobbly. Might have thrown him.
Nice. Trendy.
Now, stick with me here. Joey said the lady say Georgie Boy has been acting crazier and crazier ever since God bitch smacked his silly ass during a Christmas pageant. And that's an actual...
What?
That's an actual quote.
Bitch
an actual-
smacks his bitch.
Silly ass? Was silly ass in the quote?
No, but that's an actual thing that happens in this story. He said he was doing a pageant. I can only imagine. You're a grand old flag. And then he just felt a and said,
Oh, man.
God smacked him.
Theater
during-
people are really, really critical.
Yeah, exactly.
Caught like a funky look from the crowd, and he was just like, "I'm Dan."
He gets up.
God,
You're
it
a
smoked
grand
me.
old flag.
He gets the hook and just gets pulled off stage.
So guess what happens? They lock Georgie Boy up. 20 weeks go by. He's pronounced incurable by a surgeon for whatever the fuck reason. No records indicate the surgeon, a Dr. Smith, did any operating. But since this was the 18th century, who cares? The medical community said he was bewitched. Worth noting, first written evidence of the word schizophrenia is still over 100 years off.
Oh, damn.
Which is most likely the explainable demon in all of this, but exacerbating the sitch. Georgie Boy says 7 demons inside him would gladly fuck up at least 7 clergymen.
Oh.
So get deep or fuck off, bitches. Like
What?
he has an army of demons inside of him.
He's Legion.
Yep. So Joey
Some thug ass shit to say.
gets the help of Reverend John Volton, asking if the good Reverend would, quote, agree to pray for Georgie Boy, unquote. And again, I made that one up. Volton, quote, cried out before God, Lord, I am not fit for such a work, unquote. That's real. Volton later, he cucked out and made a Reverend John Wesley pray for Georgie Boy instead. This guy had one job. They said, can you pray for one dude? And he said, oh, I don't know if I can.
He's barking like a dog. and
I don't know
he's
if I can.
bewitched.
Wow.
So he had a Reverend John Wesley pray for Georgie Boy. The good Reverend John Wesley will henceforth be known as Johnny. The exorcism recounted in the Bristol Gazette said Georgie Boy claimed he was the devil and did a lot of other things that could totally never be source cited. Like somehow, someone in the presence of the event duly noted Georgie Boy, inverted an entire verse from a 4th century hymnal, and sang it.
Like backwards.
Backwards.
Oh.
How
Like
well
now, phonically backwards or just word for word backwards?
Again.
And also, you got to be well versed in that this thing that he was claiming to know that this man spit backwards. Because I don't know that even my favorite songs, if they were repeated backwards to me, that I would be able to pick them out.
Yeah.
No, because you have a trivia bit about just saying lyrics and they don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, if you take a lyric that you've heard before and if you say it in a different pattern and rhythm, it'll just completely lose it.
Just insane stuff. And also would do normal stuff, like just act violently. That these people were
Just
trying
normal ass
to
shit.
Like acting violent.
trying to take 7 souls out of this corpse. You know, just corpse waiting to happen, pretty much.
Pre-corpse.
So, Johnny
Aren't
and
we all?
Joey, nicely done. Johnny and Joey, again, they are the reverends, casted the 7 demons out of Georgie Boy alone. Well, the 2 of them, because this is what I wrote.
Oh, God.
You're amusing the hell out of yourself, and I love it.
Apparently by reciting basic bitch religious stuff.
Nice. Nice. Perfect.
Religious
Like
taking
first year-
shots tonight, son.
Like first year
Damn.
seminary crap,
Wow.
just basic bitch
Basic
shit.
bitch religion shit.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh my
Look it
gosh.
up.
Do other priests front up at other priests when they're like, I got the deep, I mean,
I don't know.
Do you just drop a Bible and walk out?
Yeah. Johnny had something to say after the ceremonial debriding of the spirit. He said the account would be indebted to the modern era of skepticism, but then pointed to the scriptures and, quote, other authentic history, unquote, to further back what he, Johnny, would say was completely objectively and not subjectively, mind you, classic evidence of a demonic possession. At the time, a noted demonologist, a Dr. Ferriar,
I want to be a demonologist.
criticized the
Sounds
case. Yeah,
so
right?
Yeah.
Criticized the case. Pays dick, though. He didn't feel as though Georgie Boy really suffered from a demonical episode, but rather maybe epilepsy or mental illness were to blame. Again, schizophrenia is 100 years off from even being diagnosed. Dr. Ferriar goes so far as to call him an imposter masquerading as a demoniac.
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 We opened for those guys in Tampa. They're really cool.
Yes.
You
kinda-
love every band you play
I was
with.
going to say he's never played with a band he doesn't like.
Are you kidding?
Consummate pro.
I could tell you plenty of fucking bands I play with I don't
Consummate
like.
pro.
I played with the Balloon Boys band. Okay,
Is that real?
Yes. Yes, the kid that was in the balloon that everybody watched on the network news. They thought he was in the balloon. He was just hiding up in the attic. Yeah, he had a band, and they opened for us, and they fucking sucked.
And they were called the Balloon Boy
No, I can't remember their names.
Oh, God.
Just
really on the
that last
nose.
check.
Yeah, that was,
Really leaning on that.
and we didn't even know they were opening for us until we got to the gig. We go to the gig. I'm looking at the flyer. I'm looking at the flyer. Like,
Are you the
that
Balloon Boy?
freaking Balloon Boy, dude?
How would you know?
How did you recognize
face
him?
thing?
Because
Yeah.
they played at a local club here like
my
fucking a
God.
month previous that I just happened to
What
be at.
was that from?
I want to make a Fall from Grace reference, but in open it up for Gargamel.
Yeah.
The lowest of the low.
Man.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Where do they live? Like, where was Bubble Boy?
Balloon Boy.
Balloon Boy.
Somewhere,
Boy.
somewhere Midwest or something,
I
probably.
keep thinking Bubble Boy.
I think Bubble Boy,
yeah,
too.
Balloon
It's
Boy.
just
Where,
Jake
where
Bubble
were
Boy
they?
is a sad story of a man with an immune disorder. Yeah.
John Travolta did a movie about
Yeah,
it.
Yes, he
I
did.
thought it was Jake Gyllenhaal.
He did it too.
And here we are.
And that was your Bubble Minute.
Pop 'em all. And here we are. Georgie boy never ever did anything stupid forever after, okay? And the world is still skeptical of actual fact-based news to this day. So thank you so much, traveling lady, for everything.
So just from her account of what we've learned about 7 demons being was that like one of the first.
I don't know. I think it's so funny how this person, Sarah Barber, said, "Hey, I don't know, check on this guy," and then he was just fucking tortured. It's like it goes into those religious stories of, well, I don't know, but she's a bitch. Let's kill her.
Yeah.
And always go and
Yeah.
blame the woman.
Yeah.
Clearly performed some black magic on him. No, I think the real funny part to me on this is the fact that the medical community, quote unquote, diagnosed him. So somewhere on a piece of paper was written "Bewitched."
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
that's true.
a surgeon.
That's tight as fuck. Exactly, like a surgeon was
Yeah.
like,
whose job is to go into the skin and look at
Probably
things
just
and
a
like,
barber.
I can't fix them.
You know
I
what?
don't know what it was.
Demons.
Demons. Gotta be demons. I
Yeah.
think you should do some cocaine about it.
He was doing some really, really crazy shit with 7 voices inside of his head. I'm just saying.
The fact that he
Wow.
could, like, recite whatever Latin shit backwards is pretty tight. But
It's way tight.
and also,
I'm
like his
impressed by that.
dog barking
Sounds like a dude.
sound effect probably was way better than the one that we heard earlier.
I don't know. It sounded okay, I guess.
So, all right, well, shit, that was kind of underwhelming a little bit.
Just a typical guy freaking out,
Crazy
and everybody
guy.
saying he's got
Had
the
an
demons.
episode.
Yeah.
We've all been there. It sounds like
Been
me
in
on
a funk.
weekend.
Shit,
For sure. Panic attacks.
it's the moon madness,
Oh,
probably.
mood madness is
Oh no!
real.
It's actually because there was a super blood wolf
Super
moon.
Wolfpack NWO moon that
And-
swooped down and like broke
Yeah.
up the entire wrestling federation.
Oh,
With
yeah.
their awesome elbows, their elbow drops.